Call the special meeting for the city of Vernon. Workshop will follow Monday at 5:30 p.m. on July 1st, 2024. Invocation, please.
Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to be here tonight. We ask that you guide the council and help them to make the best decisions for the community. We ask that you keep everyone safe and out of harm's way from the hurricanes and that it will dissipate. We ask, Heavenly Father, that you just lead this country in the right direction. And thank you for a safe and fun fireworks show this past Saturday. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Only item on the special agenda meeting is fire department temporary employees. Shaq.
Yes, ma'am. So, I was told I need to bring it back up. We just only voted on 2. So I worked at real hire like 10, 15, however many, but only 2 will work a day. So also I had to bring that back up. Some will be PRN employees as well.
So they can't, a fireman can't work but so many hours, right? By
Yeah, so like,
rules and
me,
regulations.
the way I work is like shift work, 20 we're on, 48 off. So I can't be here every day if I put myself down as an employee, or any of the other guys are not gonna be able to make it Monday through Friday. So it's just as needed on their side. Like if they want to pick up a shift, they pick up a shift.
So you gotta make the schedule based off of their shifts.
Yes. I have them 70 days, make a calendar, and then send it to the clerk to y'all. Let y'all know who's there, and what days.
Still approve on the same amount of hours.
Yeah, same amount of hours.
Yeah, it's just, we had to revisit it because we voted
full
on
time.
2. Just 2, and that's not the case, so.
Yeah, there won't be just 2 set.
No, we just needed, we wanted to make sure that the council understood and was okay with.
What if we just vote on the hours that he's allocating for this job that's gonna be performed, instead of the amount of employees that's gonna have to take to fill these positions?
That's fine by me as long as you provide the clerk with a list,
Yes, no problem.
payroll purposes. So what are the hours per
8 to 5.
8 to 5?
Yes. Monday through Friday.
Do I have a motion to approve the temporary employees from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday?
I make a motion to approve the temporary employees from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. At this time, I'm gonna adjourn the special meeting and open up the workshop. You good? Just provide her with the list when you get it.
Also, that comes
You can't bring that up in the special meeting.
No, that's part of the workshop. It's part of the workshop. I'm bringing it for part of the workshop.
We're in the workshop.
Oh, okay. Our engine's down. The alarm system went off for the check engine. I contacted 10-8 today. Supposed to be trying to get somebody out to look at it, see what's going on. I got a couple quotes on our air compressor because we got to test that air quarterly. So I got 2 different quotes. One is from the guy that done all the service and repairs. His quote is $2,960, and that's from Dive-Base International. And that's, like I said, they come every quarter, we test air samples, get air samples of both systems. The second is through NAFCO, and their total price is $1,470.
That's what I'm gonna do. What is that?
NAFCO,
Mm-hmm.
N-A-F-E-C-O.
What is it?
NAFCO, N-A-F-E-C-O.
And how much is it? 14 what?
70.
1470. 1,470.
We'll have to vote on it. Put it on.
Truck testing, both trucks are gonna get tested this month. That's $860. So that's under my allowed balance. The radios, I need 5 portable radios, but we got a quote for 7, 1 for Jason, and then 1 for Miss Candace. And then 1 for that brush truck that we got coming. We put a radio in there. That quote is $12,331.79.
Can they take me and Candace's out of mine? Make it easier on me?
Would you say, Jason?
Take me and
I'll take
Candace's, our price out of mine.
Out of your, he got more money than you do. That's a great idea, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
the system spends a lot, you don't.
And that's mobile communications is who service us in this area.
Shaq's still within his budget for the year.
For the year?
Yeah,
Oh.
you're still within your budget.
You'll be running out soon if you keep this up.
No. Oh, grant taking this year, instead of air packs, we're gonna try to do 5 sets a year. I need 10. So I'm gonna try to get 5 from the state and then go from there. Under that grant, we get awarded.
So, add that for our meeting agenda.
Was 12,000 what, Shaq?
For the mobile communications, for the radios,
$12,33.79.
that's $12,331.79.
Okay.
At 31, I thought it said 33. Okay. Is that all you have?
That's it.
Is
That's it, I promise.
Okay. Moving forward, number 1, Traverse Drive updates.
So y'all should have a copy in your packet of a response letter that was received via email from Elizabeth Schmitz. You might have any questions about that. They admit that they are operating short-term rentals on the property. They assert they have no intention to stop any of the activities on the property. As of right now, my plan is to proceed with filing the complaint and motion for emergency injunctive relief unless the council gives me other direction.
Am I allowed to speak on my behalf?
Yeah, I want to say this first off. At our last meeting, we voted for the attorney to go ahead with what needed to be done in the city's best interest, and that was approved.
May I
Yes,
speak?
ma'am.
Okay. Honestly, I think if you thoroughly read it, a lot of my opinion is out there. I wouldn't justify it the way that it was just stated. Yes, we have a lot of people coming in and out. We just had our daughter's graduation, because she just graduated from college. We have family in Michigan, in Texas. We have the Airbnb, which is only a small amount, which we've never had any issues with any of the Airbnb guests. They've never had any complaints of loud music. My husband is the one who got the one complaint over a year ago in April. One time the cops had to come out that day, and they came out 3 times. In his defense, it was over a year ago. His cousin was in from Michigan, and he did not know about the ordinances. Since April of last year, no more noise ordinances have been made. I have cameras with video and sound to prove that. I know I've watched, since being sent the letter, we have watched all of the council videos. So we've heard the complaints that are being made against us and accusations. And a couple of them were quite concerning because the council actually felt like the government wasn't going in and doing their job when complaints were being made, and that is completely false. The codes from Washington County has been in constant contact with me, came out to the property, Janet, multiple times. We have followed every one of the ordinance codes. She has closed her case. Then there's the two agencies, and I don't know their names by heart, but they're the government agencies that watch the waterways, because people have made complaints, mostly our neighbors, which have personal vendettas against us because of stupid things. David has physically attacked my husband. We had to report it and have the police come because he physically put his hands on my husband. Alan, it's a little bit of a different situation because he has a easement to cross over our property, and we've actually let him go when he has a 20-foot easement. We've let him go 60 feet, but we put up a fence that he used to use to get to some of his additional property, which Ricky and Alan used to be friends. They used to hang out down at the property. Since Ricky put that gate up and Alan has to use this other way to entrance, he got mad about it. Him and David kind of just stuck little friends. David and my husband used to sit around drinking beer at our property until there was a whole argument about a gas tank that floated away. That was David's in the water, which just goes to people polluting the water. It was a diesel tank. We found it. We said we'll have the kids bring it over. Kids never did it. David got really mad about it, and that's how that happened. This man did not meet me until like 2 weeks ago. He's never met me and made multiple accusations. My husband has never cut a tree down. The government agencies have came out, they photographed everything, they explored the whole property, they have found it, they closed the case. They also opened a case, and I have provided in the email I sent also pictures of David out in the creek with an excavator. Okay, this is not us doing this. He has been down there with chainsaws, and that's how I knew to go over there. I didn't even expect the excavator that day. My husband was in a wheelchair, and I heard the chainsaw, and Ricky goes, "Go get them. Go see what he's doing." And he was out there with a tree, cutting down trees right in the riverbank and stuff. This has not been us. We've also reported other people, because there's a few people along the whole bank cutting down all the trees. They're just destroying the river. If you've ever been out kayaking it, I know you go out on your jet ski and stuff, you've seen where Robbie just cut down all them trees there. That is going to help wash away. If anything, my husband is the one, because there has been a couple trees that I'm like, well, this tree has them big leaves, a magnolia tree. I'm like, can we take this out? I don't like it, it kills the grass. He goes, no, Liz, if you take this tree out, the roots are what holds that bank there, and we are gonna lose property. He goes, we don't cut any trees. You're welcome to come out to the property. We invite everybody. When I've been up to the Washington County, I have invited everybody back. Even prior to this, I go up there for anything. I'm like, come on. I have in there. My sons were in SWAT. My daughter was in softball. We did soccer teams. All of these people, members of the actual Washington County Board, members of the health department, not even just the members of them. The one lady just had her, Miss Arlie Sapp, she just had her parents in from Mexico that didn't even speak English. We had a group of probably 40 people. Everybody was there 100% free. They did not give us a dime. They did not compensate us in any form. They actually ate food we provided. Everything was provided by us. They didn't even bring a dish to pass, which when we do normally do events, we're like, bring a dish to pass, because everyone eats. We have food in the smoker, so when the kids get back, my feeling is I have 3 teenagers. I want them. I've never touched a drug in my life. I do drink alcohol. I don't litter. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink tea. I want my kids to have respect. Respect for nature. We pick up more trash than anybody I've ever seen out there. I just got off the river, and I had these 2 little kids with me, and we were picking up trash the whole way. I mean, it's not like we're out there and it's a business. This is an Airbnb that we follow all of the organized codes. We do not break any of the rules that require us to get the business license. If we did, I would do it a different way, or I would apply for certain permits, because there are things we could. But our property is, even though your lawyers wrote up a letter saying that we don't have the right to do the active, actually, part of our property is that, but all of our property is zoned passive. Passive outdoor recreation activities. We do painting. If you've seen, some of them are pretty inappropriate. I do have teenagers, and you know what? I felt like we didn't let them do like that a long of the time, but then I'm sitting there folding laundry one day and I see a t-shirt, and I'm gonna just say what it said, and I'm like, where did this come from? It said, I'm not gay, but $20 is $20. So yeah, then it got painted on a sign. We have a lot of very weird, they have Dr. Douchebag. And I'm like, but if you don't let them say something around you, they're gonna do it behind your back. And I would rather my kids be at my house. We do not allow any children, any minors, to be doing anything like drinking, like people have said. You're welcome to come out anytime you want. We have been cleaning up the community. We have an owl that me and Victoria last night spent the whole night watching, and then in the middle of the night we heard 2 owls. She woke up to woodpeckers. This is not a business.
Okay.
We follow the rules. Sorry, I get off track easy.
Let me interject.
I got a question for
It's,
you. I know if y'all own that property.
3 years.
No trees have been cut on the creek bank.
Not on the creek bank. Nope. And there is a stump out there, but my husband had already talked to the wildlife guy, and because the tree was dead, he let him clean that
Which
up.
wildlife guy?
Brandon Howard. And his supervisor came, which I don't remember the supervisor's name. But because it was already dead, because it is down there, but it was completely dead, they came down, they said, no, that's dead, it's fine. Nope, and it was like this big around, and it was completely dead right there, and he said, you're fine, you can trim that up. That's the only thing you'll see if you come to the property.
There's no stumps there, just
No, it is, it's about this tall, we tie the canoes up to it. Just tie the canoe up.
bigger stumps.
No, it's just like this, sir. Just like this, right at the bottom of our steps. I can email you guys
I
pictures.
totally disagree with you. I'm born and raised.
You are welcome to come out and look. We did not cut any. My husband would be the first to tell you, and I have pictures of David cutting the stuff down. Nothing, anything that you can tell when a tree flips over, because we just lost a big tree. We don't want our property to get shallower, like shorter. We want the trees. And he explained it to me, and I'm like, yeah. Because a lot of them, if you've been down the river, you can see that here's this giant tree, let's call it. Underneath is all washed out. Like, it's going to triple in.
Okay.
And we don't want that.
Let me interject. You said it's not a business.
No.
You're aware that we all have access to the internet,
Yes.
and you have a website.
Yes, but I have zero control over that website, and the website is not promoting anything other than it has links to our Airbnbs.
I've been on the website as of today.
And it doesn't have anything where you can like rent through me. It's all through Airbnb. That is through Airbnb. Those are through Airbnb.
But you're able to rent those.
No, those are add-ons to people that are
Okay, what about
coming.
this?
That is just what the prices are that they add on. Because they have to.
This is
if you-
kayak rentals.
No, it's
Canoe
not.
rentals.
Ma'am, if you look at it like that, you might think that. But I'm letting people know what Airbnb is going to charge them if they add it on, because it's considered a dangerous activity. I don't rent them, but everybody asks me what it is to add on. So I have a thing there so that they know. And I'm happy to update them so that there's a thorough more thing, because the ones that are at my property actually have been updated. And I just didn't put any on the internet, but it is an add-on. That all goes to Airbnb for insurance.
Also, it's
Do
your
you
guide.
receive the money
No.
from Airbnb
Only-
for the kayak rental?
No.
So they rent kayaks.
And the only thing that people are paying for is to be added on to their booking, like a bigger booking, just like adding on another person.
Where do the kayaks
So
come
all
from?
the reviews
Well, we
on
bought-
Airbnb, all the reviews on Airbnb where our host Elizabeth and Rick took us out, were great hosts. We rented kayaks from them.
That is somebody changing the wording, because people, you can't walk a person who's had a few beers into everything. When they get to add it on, yes, I get constantly. And actually, I have multiple sites that I've screenshotted earlier where it says, we do not rent. We do not rent, over and over. People change it to their wording. All that is them adding it on their booking. But yes, if you get that, you would just, common sense, use the easy references. But I'm constantly, no, we don't rent. And they're like, oh, well, I can't get one. I'm like, you can get one. You just have to update your listing and add it on. It's no different than having another person or a pet come.
Okay, let's
Sounds like
cut
a
through
loophole to me.
here.
All it is me trying to make people enjoy the nature. We don't get the money from that. That is for Airbnb's dangerous activity water sports that they added on. And if I was to add it on, I would have to pay that.
It's on your property, so that doesn't even make sense.
You
That
going
doesn't make
underneath the
sense in
wire.
that. Because you would have to have insurance. You're telling us that Airbnb is collecting all this money, y'all are just collecting.
And you're providing
for
the kayaks and they're
the
collecting the
cabins.
money and
No,
not
no.
giving you the money?
For kayaks, it's an add-on. They're only paying what Airbnb charges.
I'm not buying.
Right, but it's for a
Not
kayak
buying.
on your property.
And because it's a dangerous activity, they add it on. That is
I
not,
got a
Insurance for
question.
this dangerous activity?
they do. We have $1 million policy.
Let me ask you a question.
Because it's,
That's
you
what-
get the income out of the rental.
Go ahead.
Yes, when we rent.
So you
Which,
rent the kayak.
but then
Okay,
you
that's-
guys are
that's-
perceiving this like there's a whole bunch of rentals. Most of the time, this is just me, my husband, and our family and friends.
The fast talking is not.
Can I-
Sorry,
anyway.
from
Can I ask
Michigan.
one question? So on here it said our tour guides were great, which is fine. And then it said the water wasn't as blue as we were hoping due to a recent storm. So Elizabeth got right to work fixing sandbags so that the fresh water from the spring was able to flow freely and not mix with the rest of the river.
Yes, I went down to the spring and there's probably 200 people there, and I was the only one that put about 200 sandbags back together because the spring was disgusting.
Now, you can't cut off the right of way.
No. I didn't put the sandbags there. I just picked them up. Do you not know the spring?
It's-
I'm talking about the sandbags that were already there. Because we had that big
May I
flood.
say a factual thing, Becky?
No,
Absolutely, go
Okay,
ahead.
so let's talk about facts. Facts are, Janet from Code in Washington County called me. She suggested that because she has talked to you and you had not stopped activity, that we file a cease and desist order. That is where that came from. That is Janet with Code that you said told you to go ahead. She
I have
called us
been-
and said, file a cease and desist, that's the way you're gonna stop this. The planning department, which is Dawn and Jennifer, said you've never applied for a land use change to have any commercial activity. Those are the facts. The next fact is, for everybody that's watching this on YouTube, she's referring to the creek, Holmes Creek, and not the river, because the river's in Ebro.
okay. So my last communication with Janet was just before the weekend. And she had said she's coming out after the holiday to open investigation against David because he has multiple businesses being run on his property and he's residential and he doesn't have that. And actually, even if he did have a business license, he can't get it for what he's doing. And she's said that she was referring everything that I got to her because there's a lot of stuff that went to Janet that you guys didn't even get just because I've been in constant contact. At no point did she tell me she told me her case was completely closed.
Because she told us she couldn't do anything with you and to file a cease and desist
Yeah,
order.
she told me that I was doing nothing wrong because I was following all the ordinances.
Well, I think we just need to take this with the judge, because this isn't accomplishing anything. They're not changing their position. The law is very clear.
I mean-
The statute exists to abate a nuisance that the neighbors find to be a nuisance. And that's what we have. We have affidavits from neighbors on both sides who are willing to testify under oath as to the conditions that they've observed and as to the conditions that are problematic for the neighborhood. That's really, based on what I'm hearing today, nothing is going to change. I don't know that there's a capacity to understand the law. I think we're gonna have to have a judge educate on this subject.
There's not a law stating how many cars you can have come to your house. The Airbnb, we're not breaking to have to get the business license because it has codes that you don't get a business license until a certain level. We haven't done that. 99% of the people that come to our house is our friends, family, kids, their friends and families. We're making $0. The tiny bit of people, when we do open up our schedule of Airbnb, does not escalate to the point where we were required by law to get a business license.
Ma'am, with all due respect, tell it to the judge.
I will, but I would like to address the fact that you think that I'm blocking off the waterway. I did not put them sandbags there. When the flood came in, it knocked over the sandbags that were already there and I picked them up. That is what, the sandbags that are,
Ain't no sandbags on that thing.
well,
One question, where they go pee and poop at?
we have restrooms. Coach Todd had,
Porta-john?
yes, we do have a porta-john
What
also.
you gonna do when they come float off?
There is no porta-john floating off.
Well, when the creek comes up, they will.
Yeah, and when we do know that there's rain coming, we've had them move it.
I think we-
But we have bathrooms inside the cabins.
I think that we've exhausted this conversation. We're gonna,
You're exploiting the creek
Go
for
ahead and
financial
let our
gain through a
attorney
bunch of
handle it.
loopholes.
But
pretty much.
I'm not even getting any, you guys are thinking that we have this huge business. He's made complaints when every car that he counted on that 40 cars was my friends and family. I can have people at my home.
ma'am, we're going off, based off of what the information we have, the documentation, the photos, the reviews, the rental prices, the canoe, kayak prices, all of that we pulled offline off of your website. I don't see that we need to
Well, you
discuss
didn't get any of that on
or-
no website because that isn't on the website. There's no prices on no website.
But why would y'all allow, Aaron, why would y'all supply canoes and kayaks to people?
Honestly?
No, listen. And
Because
let
we go out and
Airbnb
party with them.
But and let Airbnb make all the money off of it. That
Well, it's
makes no
because they
sense.
get there and they go up and stand in line and they have a miserable time. And I lost 3 siblings to drunk drivers. And I don't want these people getting back to Culpeper and to Cotton and getting back to their cars and driving. So we welcome them to come back. If they're gonna be out there drinking, which 90% of these people
I
are.
just wouldn't put that on my website saying that.
It does say that. It says,
just
get
saying,
in here and get out here so that there's nobody drinking and driving. That is what we have pushed. We don't want all these people going to these places and going back and driving cars. We have said, stay here, camp, stay here, don't leave. Because that's what happens, is this area gets so busy and then these kids are getting hurt in car wrecks. Did you not see what happened to my family? My husband got put in a wheelchair. My son is half brain dead. His ear was ripped off. He was in a coma for a month, and now he's mentally handicapped retard because of a guy out here on 79 drinking on the road. This is why we do it the way we do it, so there's not people out there drinking and driving, because that's all they go to that spring to do. And that's the truth. That is the truth.
Thank you for your time. Number 2, charter review. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm about halfway through it.
Yeah, it was, the information that I provided is the initial one that you drew up the last time. which
Right,
changes-
so this draft was based on the recommendations from the last charter review committee that met. So this was 2017.
So everybody hasn't had time to review that yet?
No,
Is that
I'll
it?
review the rest.
Okay,
I apologize.
so y'all want me to put it back on another workshop the next time for workshop? Okay.
I would like that. Number 3, signs for use of city property, Northwest Ship Road.
There, I laid something on there. We're working on it. So we have a lot of people that use Shady Grove or the Sportsplex, and we have, like this sign at the Sportsplex is on the back side of the bathroom.
Nobody sees it.
Nobody knows that you need to call the city hall, and probably if they read it, they might not anyway. So we need better, not that y'all don't want everybody, or I don't want everybody to enjoy the facilities, but say Nikki's got a tournament going out there, and you show up and it's packed out with something else. So we need to have some kind of better system. We need signs that are clear. Maybe there's some kind of blocking on the weekends or something, I don't know.
Well, yeah, because sometimes, like at a Shady Grove, well, they're supposed to come here and get the key for the restrooms and stuff, but then a lot of people go out there. So it's easy for more than one person to meet up out there. It's not that many provisions or anything out there, but some people have already came down here and got the key and said, you know, that they have it for the weekend because we let them have it, but then other people just show up. So I don't know what we're gonna do.
Have we ever adopted a policy on facility rentals or use?
I don't know now, because like we have daylight to dark on this one. This is at the Sportsplex. And then we have call to use the facilities. So it's not that nobody wants them to use it, it's just that we don't want a tournament going and somebody's got an inflatable rental in the middle of the ballpark setup, you know, and a birthday party. We just need to know.
So can't we put up signs specifying contact City Hall for?
That's what we were saying that before.
And we have this one, but it's not.
In the wrong place.
Yeah, they need to be like on the gate
I mean, them signs.
when you
can
open up
get-
the door and go in.
You can get them signs for not very much.
Right. But I'm not ordering signs to put up unless y'all tell me to.
Well,
We don't have to
because
vote on that.
even though, Shady Grove is open, you know, it's an open air, but like at the Sportsplex, even though that big gate is there,
Yeah.
that little small gate is always open where the playground is, so they just go in there.
Now, this weekend, Nikki went and opened up the bathrooms for somebody at Shady Grove because they asked ahead of time.
And there
Yeah.
was somebody called me to use a field, I just didn't know like the grand scheme of the birthday party, I guess, the bigger scale of it. But I do, and like we do have a tournament team that comes out there from time to time, and then Vernon, we're in the works of trying to build one for our local kids too, that can participate in fall. This year, there's been a couple of events out there that I didn't know about and that the city didn't know about. And I don't want to set up, I guess, like tournaments and stuff that we can host for like our kids and us go out there one day and there's 100 people out there because I don't know. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm here for these kids in Vernon and I'll do whatever and I'm fine with birthday parties. I don't want something like that to happen because I am looking at, you know, trying to get more things going on. Like we have co-ed softball that's fixing to start on Friday nights and, you know what I mean? Like Matt's gonna be working hard on the fields. We're gonna be.
My thing with the sportsplex is, yeah, the playground area is been open
Always
to the
open.
public.
Yeah, it's always
But
open.
the ball fields, generally, that goes through the rec director or city hall. And up until like this weekend, I've never seen any birthday parties out there like what I saw.
There has been, and families, we've
Has
had
there been?
family reunions out there.
Okay,
like-
see, I didn't know
and
that, so I think
Yeah,
I'm
which is
for all of that.
it's
Like,
fine,
You
yeah.
just need to know.
I just,
There just needs to be some notification.
I don't want to schedule things like through the reg and then show up and be like, hey, y'all got to leave because I don't want to do that to somebody.
Well, if she's hosting a 4-field tournament and somebody shows up for a family reunion, they could still have their family reunion, but they would like to know that there's gonna be a huge tournament with no parking and.
Can't we make them schedule all their stuff like that down Shady Grove?
Good.
Yeah, but it's only one pavilion out there, and I remember that.
Yeah.
One, and like,
And it has to be open to the public, I believe, because of the grants
Yeah,
that we
it has
have.
to be.
But they are supposed to notify us for events so that we can say, no, we're using it for this on this day.
So we just need to make it like Shady Grove.
because somebody's out there every weekend out there, Shady Grove in the summertime. And so I don't know how they work that, you know, with more than one person.
And
Well,
I
that's
did,
what-
like, I went and opened the bathroom for the birthday party at Shady Grove, and like, I don't mind doing anything to help anybody in the community. I just don't wanna be in a bind where I schedule something for the sportsplex and then show up and somebody's there and I have to tell them, like, I'm sorry guys, y'all gotta get off the field, we have, if that makes sense.
It does.
It makes sense, yeah.
Just everybody communicating together in a certain way.
Yeah.
I think we do need to identify facilities and create a facility policy so that it's clear so that your staff knows who should be able to make the decisions about who to let on the property or when, who's gonna actually manage the calendar. That makes sense.
Yes.
So if y'all let me work with Candace on putting together a policy we can bring back.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it. Kinda neat.
Everybody agreeable with that?
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead.
And it would help with the vandalism of the bathrooms too.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah, that's just bad
And-
for everybody.
Somebody that used it this weekend put charcoal in the
or we don't
dumpster
know,
and
we
burnt
don't
the
know if it was
dumpster.
them,
Burnt
but
the dumpster.
apparently there
There
was
was
some
a fire.
charcoal
And
placed in the
sometime over the weekend,
dumpster.
some charcoal got put in the
Yeah.
dumpster and
So,
It caught on fire.
Where?
And melt
That's
that
what-
sportsplex, and it melted the lid in.
We put it out with some water bottles.
You know, the fire department did come
I
back
see, I
out.
passed it.
So,
And like I said, I'm fine, like, I really want the public to enjoy it and everything, I just, like I said, I don't wanna schedule something and be.
well, we can't have rec kids out there trying to play ball and a birthday party going on in the middle of one of the fields either, so.
Well, plus if there's a large crowd out there, which somebody had said, I don't know, there was a large crowd there. Now, somebody could get hurt with this large crowd, and we don't even know they're there.
So is there maybe a number of people that you want to put a limit on that an event would have to come before the council, just like you would the rental and community center?
Yeah.
I mean, I would like for it to be the same way as community center, then you kinda know what's going on all the time.
If you're gonna have an event, you
And
should
that way I
notify
could make
City
sure
Hall.
it was taken,
Yes.
like, I mean, we go out there once or twice a week and empty the trash and all that kind of stuff, but like, I would like for it to be a little bit more presentable than it was, cause it was raining and it had flooded and like, I could have made the baseball field a little bit better, like, you know what I mean? Like, sorry.
You're doing good, Nikki.
Thank you.
Yes, she is.
We ain't worried about it.
because she did have the fireworks this weekend and she did a great job with everything and I wasn't able to go and I feel guilty, so, but we called today to Jesse at Pyro Shows to ask if we could book the 4th of July next year
It's
and
on a
actually
Friday.
hit the 4th, because it's a Friday.
Mhm.
If we don't do it on the, and well, we wanted to know ahead of time before we brought it to y'all. So if we don't do it on the 4th, which is a Friday, then it would have to be like the Saturday before, which is almost a week before the 4th of July. And you don't want to do it after the 4th of July. It costs more. Nikki said she would do fundraisers to pay the difference to book the actual date of the 4th of July.
Cause it is a little bit more, money. It was like,
So it's gonna be like 6,000 more than
To do it on the
normal
4th
to
of
do it
July, 'cause
on the
you have
4th of July date itself.
you have to have another cruise and
Hey,
stuff.
guys,
they're
they
really
left-
good.
they
I know
left-
they were, it was a
They
very
did,
good
I mean, it
show.
was a good show.
It was a good show.
Yeah,
Very
like
good.
he said that they're really booked up and he would have
It
to
was
bring
very
in
good.
another crew and stuff like that, specifically for the 4th. Because that's their, but
he
he
said-
does have an opening.
He put us in there. I said, give me 2 weeks, cause it's gotta be voted on.
Yeah.
So
So,
put it on the agenda.
okay.
And I'll do my
'Cause I'm gonna
hardest
tell
to help
y'all-
raise the extra with the
Y'all know,
rec
I've
and-
said this before, it's not easy to find
I
a
know.
fireworks company anymore. So if you've got one that everybody's satisfied with, you need to keep them.
And
They
they've been
were
way cheaper
very-
than everybody else.
Yes, they have.
They were very polite, cause they
Yeah,
even
they
called
were
me
very
and I was
good.
like,
They come
no,
up with
call me.
something and stuff. They was looking for food.
And after what happened last year, y'all all know, they were very helpful and came down and gave us a discount for this year and everything that I've heard from everybody on the fireworks was great,
It was good.
It was really good.
so.
Even though the rain came just before they ended.
And the last thing is not on here is we need to schedule a budget workshop in July, please.
Miss Becky, I got one thing, when y'all excuse me, okay? I went out to Dave's. There's no, he hadn't had an excavator out there's a backhoe, and he's not on the creek. I went out and looked where he's clean, he's not on the creek. Fact is, where we was standing, it's kinda hard to see the creek. He's not in any kind of violation.
Mr. Gary, my opinion on that whole conversation was that has nothing to do with what we were talking about. That's just
And I got one
personal
question.
finger pointing.
I do have boat trailers on my property. My business is Panama City. I park them at the top of a hill up there. If that's what they're referring to, there's, nobody comes in there, nobody goes out of there, it's me. I just park them up there on top of the hill and take them to work.
Big builders have been there.
I guess I need to buy another building right now.
But I mean, if I'm in violation, tell me.
That's why I didn't feel the need to even address
I
it,
mean,
because that's
yeah.
not what
Because
we're
they're
talking
saying
about
multiple
dealing with.
businesses and I don't know what she's speaking of.
It doesn't matter because that's still irrelevant. If
To
there was an issue
what we're
against
dealing
you,
with.
that's against you. Her issue is against her.
Okay.
So that's
Well, I
irrelevant.
just, again, I want to clarify, if that's what they're talking about, that at least you'll know, that's, I mean, I don't run a business out of there. So,
So July, y'all, this month, we need a workshop. So what day y'all looking at? I do have to be gone next week to that conference in Tallahassee.
And just make it, I guess, on the 15th, right?
Well, we have a meeting that day.
You don't want to do it for budget workshop the same night?
I mean, we can do it today. I mean, it's up to everybody else. It don't matter to me.
Just when.
Is a Monday good for everybody?
So I have another meeting the 22nd
Good.
that night.
So the 8th, which is next Monday.
I can't do
Could-
next Monday.
Okay.
Is the 29th gonna be too close for you?
I got outage next week.
29th is a Monday.
I how to do it and approve it. We can make, yeah, we can do it on the 29th. We'll just have to have another one probably the next week after or so. But we can do it on the 29th.
July
Is that okay?
29th?
Yeah, just to get, we need a budget workshop before we have like all the approval and offer trigger. So I think 29th would be good and then we'll have one more in August. We gotta approve it by September.
So do you want a meeting to approve the time?
We can do the workshop and then put it on because I have to advertise so many days before. So,
I'm talking about for the form you have to fill out and send the property person.
no, we're good, I think, for the first workshop on the 29th. That gives me enough time.
29?
At
5:30.
5:30.
Is there anything else?
Jason, did you sign them conduits?
Email?
Did you trace them
No, not
conduits?
yet. I still want, I've been on last week. I will,
What is it that you're supposed to be doing?
the conduit out here, locating the conduit, that electrical, we're trying to find out where that electrical goes to the conduit box.
I did forget, Mr. Gary had spoken to the surveyor about doing the cemetery survey, and he would charge $2,500 to do the cemetery survey. I know, y'all talked about it at the last meeting, but I wasn't going
Did
to,
we already do that?
I didn't send him
It's a
to,
long time ago.
yeah.
Didn't we do that?
Y'all had a survey in the past. I think the new property owner at Circle H has had a survey. There's maybe discrepancy there.
Yeah, and remember the attorney advised that we would have to have another survey.
With that, he was.
So, but we'd have to vote on that.
Yeah.
So, put it
Yeah,
on.
okay.
Is there anything else that anybody wants to discuss? Then can I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.